Here we go, here we go. Wake up, Ruth Bader. Wake up and listen to what's going on around you and lead our country. Anyways, don't be like Ruth Bader. Here we go. Let's get this party ended, not started. This is to be a last part of period 6.1. We call this Designing the Peace After World War II. So let's get it going. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, here we go. Here we go. So World War II peace settlements began before the war ended. All right. First peace settlement. All right. It's going to happen in 1943. The war ended in 45, but this peace settlement starts in 1943. Not that important, but just know everybody's thinking about peace, not war. It's called the Tehran. Let's get this capitalized for you. The Tehran Conference. Okay, the Tehran Conference. And this is what happens. The Allied powers decided to focus on the liberation of what's that country that keeps getting beat up. Here we go. They began to focus on liberation of France, allowing the Soviet Union, check this out, allowing the Soviet Union to move through the nations of Eastern Europe as it advanced toward France. All right, the Soviet Union therefore gained ground and influence in what part of Europe? Eastern or Western Europe? They gained a lot of influence in Eastern Europe. And we'll have to deal with that during the Cold War. All right, let's look at the second thing. 1945, the year the war ends, or World War II ends, at another conference called the Yalta Conference. The Soviet Union agreed to join the war against Japan in exchange for territory in Manchuria and the northern island of Japan. The Yalta Conference also provided for the division of Germany into 4 occupation zones after the war. All right, and remind me to show you what these occupation zones look like. Very good. Our next peace plan is going to be at what's called the Potsdam Conference. The Potsdam Conference. All right, it gave the Soviets control of Eastern Poland. The Polish don't like that. With Poland receiving part of Eastern Germany. So Poland gave up a little bit to Russia, but got a little bit from Germany. It made final arrangements for the division of Germany and also divided Austria. Okay, there's your Potsdam Conference. I have some videos for you to watch, and we'll do that now. Okay, welcome back. Here is the war and the things that happened after it ended. All right, we have U.S. occupied Japan. After the war was over, we stayed there. Korea was divided into U.S. and Soviet occupation zones. And about 5 years after this, we'll have the Korean War. China regained most of its territory, but fighting between, in China now, this is the China you think about here. This is going to start because of this. The fighting between the communists and the nationalist forces will resume. The communists will be held by the Soviet Union. The nationalists will be somewhat held by the United States. Okay. Then you have Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and it became Soviet provinces. We have Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Bulgaria, and Romania were occupied by the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is getting a lot, aren't they? All right. Colonies renewed their independence effort. There's some of these colonies that still want to be free. Everybody does not get what they want. European world dominance, check this out, it ended. The United States and the Soviet Union will be the dominant forces in the world. A new international peacekeeping organization, and y'all know what this is, the United Nations, was created in 1945. Yes, the year the war ended, with the United States now among its key leaders. This makes it different than the League of Nations. All right, international dominance remained in the hands of two superpowers. We have, again, the United States, and the only other superpower will be the Soviet Union. Very good. USSR, or you could say the US. Very good. Here's your piece. This is how the world ends up after World War II is over. Okay, a brief review. You guys put this in here on your own. Here we go. I'll try to read it to you just shortly. See if you can do it before I do it. Here we go. The forces of, y'all say it, nationalism, and y'all say it, militarism, combined with the entangling defense alliances, y'all say it before I do, produced the first global war of the, what century are we in? Good job, 20th century. Post-war peace settlements created, that's right, new nations without the consideration of, I have something messed up here, without consideration of, consideration of those, oh, there you go, within those nations. The Treaty of Versailles left Germany economically and militarily devastated and humiliated by the, what's that place they call it? The War Guilt Clause. The cost of the war ruined regional economies, I'm talking about World War I here, and world trade created a depression that reached most regions of the world. Out of the despair of the Great Depression arose fascism. Well, all right, so arose new political institutions, including, there you go, fascism. All right, communism, fascism, yes. In Germany, Italy, and military rule in Japan. The world found itself at war for the second time in the 20th century. Millions died, or 6 million exactly, in the Holocaust, while the atomic age was launched with the bombings of what two places? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The lessons of war created an attempt at a new world order that included a stronger international organization, the United Nations. Da-da-da-da. Very good. There's the end of that story. Very good. Okay, let's have a quick review of everything that just happened to us in this first part of Revolution, World Wars, and Depression. The Mexican Revolution took place, and getting rid of Diaz and creating a semi-republic with the country being, or economically controlled by the government and the people, not just the government. Then we have the revolution in China with Sun Yat-sen leading a revolution, ending the dynasties in China. The Qing dynasty will no longer be there, and eventually they'll have a republic and then become communist. Russification will happen, which will help lead to World War I, where they are trying to push their ethnic ideas in there. Check this out. In Russia, we decide when you can smoke. So Russia basically is an authoritarian, totalitarian place. Here we go. The Russo-Japanese War will happen with Russia being defeated by the Japanese. Check it out. The Russian battleships running from the Japanese soldier. Look at him hanging on. Pretty good. Fascism. Make sure you understand this new idea of fascism where there's an extreme nationalism. It's actually forced upon you, and you better think like they do. You better believe like they do. Think about the German people during World War II. But this started in that started in Italy under Benito Mussolini. All right, then we have the Spanish Civil War, and this is basically a mock World War II, where the fascists basically try to go against the democratic government, and the fascism wins. Then we have the appeasement policy, where we allow Germany to continue to do what it wants to. This will lead to World War II. And then we have the Tehran Conference, where the Allies will decide to basically focus on France. Here's FDR with Winston Churchill, allowing the Soviet Union under Stalin here to basically begin to take what they want in the Eastern Europe. And we have the Yalta Conference, which divides Germany into these occupation zones. Here's the Soviet part and the Allied part, British, American, and French. These three will be joined together later on. All right, then we have the Potsdam Conference, which basically allows England to have a little bit of Poland and Poland to get a little bit of Germany, and basically ends up talking about how to divide up Germany and Austria. And check this out. You see Stalin, he's trying to get all he can over here. Very good, very good. And then lastly, this will end with the United Nations developing, which was supposed to keep world peace, and it's still here today. We're a part of it, but we don't always follow it, but we are a part of it today. All right, very good. There's part 1 of period 6, 1900 to the present. Very good. Thank you for paying attention. To get ready for part 2, we'll have some fun. Goodbye.